Greetings, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the pretty recently released Papo Megaloceros. Now, if you didn't know, Megaloceros is one of my absolute favorite prehistoric mammals. The skeleton at my local museum and the one I got to see at the American Museum of Natural History just completely blow me away with how majestic they are and just how amazingly large the antlers were on this prehistoric deer. And this actually is not my model. This was sent over to me from my good friend Aiden. He's paying me to repaint it for him, and he gave me permission to go ahead and make a review on it. So if you're watching, Aiden, thank you for sending this one over. Alright, so first of all, the detail on this guy it's alright, it's present, but I really think it's the paint that doesn't complement it well. And that was the biggest problem for me in the images that I saw of people getting this one in hand, and it really kind of put me off from getting this one. I can confirm this figure looks way better in hand than in any images I have seen, and I'm definitely going to be getting my own copy of this one to have in my collection at some point in the future. Yeah, but like I said, the detail is pretty nice. It's definitely not the best I've seen as far as conveying the fur-like look across the body. It's just the paint is not good. If you look on the hump on the back above the shoulders there, the way that was applied, you can tell that was just kind of slapped on. You can tell on the midsection towards the belly there was just like a gray paintbrush, just quick dry brush over that whole thing. The only part of the paint that I actually really like is all the paintwork that's on the actual head, not on the antlers. We'll get to that in a second, but the nostril and the eyes and everything look pretty convincing there. And on another quick note, this really doesn't feel like a Papo figure to me, with just how solid this depiction of the animal is here. I really have no complaints about the actual sculpt work accuracy-wise, but the one area, of course, that I think could have been improved on is the actual choice of colors, not the paint application, which you've already talked about, of course, but the choice of coloration. Now, we actually have cave paintings of Megaloceros, and a lot of those cave paintings show the animal with an overall lighter coloration, a dark stripe running down the back, a stripe on either side from the shoulder to its haunch, a dark color on the throat and a chin strap, and a dark hump between the shoulder blades. And I think this figure captures those individual colors well enough, but it would have been cool to have the coloration a bit closer to those actual cave paintings. Now the antlers on this one, I was worried about them being too bendy for a repaint, like if Papo softened them up for child safety, but they're not. They're actually really solid. They don't feel like they'd hurt you though, but they have a nice solid base to them for a repaint, so there's not too much flexibility and the paint won't peel off. The antlers look awesome sculpt-wise, but my one problem with them is that they're actually a lighter color with dark tips. And if you look at modern day deer and elk, you can see that their antlers are actually darker in color with lighter tips on the end. And I think that's what was really sticking out to me, as just something didn't seem right. And it was my friend Aiden, of course, who I'm painting this figure for coming up, who brought that to my attention. So when I give this one a repaint, I'm going to be doing kind of the opposite for the colors that are currently on the antlers. But anyway, sculpt-wise, they look awesome. Love the sculpt on the antlers. And for just a quick look at the head and the neck area, I really like how floofy the neck is. It gives this Megaloceros a really regal and proud look, and overall complements the pose as well, which I think the pose is great for this figure. The eyes are painted beautifully as well. The ears have really nice paint and sculpt work on them, as well as the mouth and the nostril. Love the glossy black paint on the eyes and the nostril as well. Really stands out on the nose, which I appreciate. Gives it the healthy, wet nose look that mammals have. But anyway, I really think that covers my overall thoughts on the Papo Megaloceros. Overall, my two biggest complaints with this one is paint application and color choice. I think those are really the only two departments where this one falls a little bit short for me. Other than that, really great figure. Really great figure, and pictures and video do not do it justice. I think this is one you should grab and get in hand. It's pretty darn cheap on D. Jenkins if you live in the US, so I'll put a link down below so you can go grab your own if you want. But anyway, in case you're wondering how large this one is, from the tip of the tail to the tip of the antler, we are looking at right about 5.5 inches long, which is right about 13 centimeters. And in terms of the height at the highest point, which is the top of the antlers there, we are looking at just about 4 inches, which is right around 10 centimeters. And for comparison, here is the Papo Megaloceros next to my favorite prehistoric mammal figure, the Eofauna Paleoloxodon. I actually think these two look really cool next to each other. I put the Megaloceros on my shelf for a little bit just to get a sense of how it blended in with my other prehistoric mammals, and I really like the way these two look together, actually. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for this review of Papo's Megaloceros. Once again, big thank you to my good friend Aiden for letting me review this one before I paint it up for him and ship it off. Let me know if you have this one down below, and if you do, let me know your thoughts on it, and if you don't have it, let me know if you plan on getting it. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll catch you in my next video, so take care, and bye-bye.